Harry Grant is back in the Maroons jersey after missing the last 2 games of the 2021 series due to injury. He's without a doubt one of the best hookers in the competition, but Billy Slater will be deploying him from the bench as he favours Ben Hunt to start in the number 9. Grant plays the opposite role for Melbourne, often starting matches and then being spelled by Brandon Smith whenever they've got, a full complement of forwards, so Smith's not packing down the front row. But Grant from the bench could be an X-factor weapon for a Queensland side looking to make amends for last year's hammering. And he's in some pretty damn good form to do just that. 10 try assists on the year, which puts him in the top of the ladder for hookers, and he averages 50 kicking metres per game, which is just ahead of Reed Marty, who's also a Queenslander who kicks for about 46 metres a game. Grant also has 9 line break assists. Again, it's the best in the competition for hookers, and he's forced the most dropouts of hookers. He ranks 3rd for runs per match, and he's 1st for run metres, which is surprisingly ahead of Damien Cook. His 78 metres per match beat Cook's 67 metres. And both average around 10 metres per run, so when they run the ball, they run it effectively. Due to injury, this is only his 3rd Origin match. He played 1 match last year and 1 match the year before. In his debut match, he came from the bench, and in his second, he started at hooker and played 70 minutes after returning from injury, and then in his following club game, he got injured and was out for an extended period. Why is he the X-factor? Well, Origin is very much a game of attrition, and Ben Hunt offers plenty of experience to start the game. He's a crafty dummy half himself, and he brings his halves into play against the opposition. But he doesn't run the ball like Grant. He kind of uses his halves' brain to get the team around the field, but he doesn't really get out from dummy half and attract the markers or the 8 defenders the way that Grant does. And Grant, as the stats kind of point out, is probably the best one, or at least one of the best running dummy halves in the game. So what Slater could be looking to do here with Grant is help him to avoid the traditional softening up period and then allow his speed and ball playing ability where he can isolate large Maroons forwards onto smaller Blues defenders against a tiring Blues defensive line. It's definitely a different role to what he normally plays for Melbourne, but he's done this role before for Queensland. In his first match, he helped seal a win when he came off the bench and drove New South Wales insane with his incisiveness from dummy half and has scored a try himself. And Queensland will be helping for a repeat of that. So let's have a look at how he'll probably be deployed. He's likely going to get his first taste of football between the 20th and the 30th minutes. In Game 2 last year, when Andrew McCulloch and Ben Hunt shared the role, McCulloch came off after 33 minutes and came back on after 51 minutes, but played as a middle ball player. Then he left the field again after 67 minutes. And there's probably going to be something similar like that between Grant and Hunt. Now, it's likely that when Ben Hunt comes back on the field, he's going to be the one playing that middle ball playing role so that we don't get Harry Grant running into the teeth of defences. He's not the biggest body going around, and he's definitely not Brandon Smith. And Ben Hunt has also kind of got that nuggety frame that can still carry the ball effectively. When Grant came from the bench, he was replacing Jake Friend in his debut match, and Friend returned and played as a running forward in the 50th minute and played out the rest of the game. So they played a large chunk of that match in 2020 with 2 hookers on the field. But Grant is a much better player now than he was in 2020. Quite obviously, he's had a couple of years of experience in the NRL, he's played Origin, and now he's going to be coming from the bench as that X-Factor player for Queensland. He's a premier hooker in the competition with probably the best attacking game of any number 9. His short passing is fantastic. He brings his halves onto the ball. He's incisive around the ruck, and he drives A defenders and markers insane. He has the ability to break the line, provide try assists, play teammates into gaps, and he's still got a good kicking game when it comes to kicking long. Grant could be the man to flip the script for the Maroons or drive home their advantage whenever he comes off the bench. So what do you think? Is Harry Grant the Maroons' X-Factor player, or is it someone else? Let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe as it really helps the channel. Keep an eye out for the next video. Until then, bye for now.